Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, kings and queens of the land. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to the liberated zones in Africa. The Sahel countries, the region in the Sahel, Burkina Faso, under the leadership of President Traore. Mali under the leadership of President Asim Goita, um, uh, Niger under the leadership of President Tian. We salute them for conquering the colonial master using force, uh, using the weapon that the only language that the colonizer understands, which are guns, because that is their language. Using the only language that the colonizer understands, Burkina Faso has taken over their control of the country, using the barrel of the gun. We salute them. President Zuma, on the other hand, in South Africa, intends to take the country using the ballot. Though the elections were robbed, but that is their intention, not the gun. Today we want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mngoni Mkonto. I should introduce myself. And this is the Royal Opinion. If you are coming here for the first time, click the like button and subscribe. Today we are talking about Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi of the EFF. um, who's been recently in the news, who's been making the news. And I want to talk about uh, Dr. Lozi in relation to the predicament that the CIC, Julius Malema, President Julius Malema of the EFF, find himself in terms of the issues concerning Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Why would Julius Malema prefer that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi be out of the EFF? Because I think that's what he prefers. And I will give the reasons why I analyze that he prefers that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi should be out of the EFF. Uh, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is a doctor of politics, I mean in the literal sense of it. He studied politics at the University of Witwatersrand, University of Wits, in South Africa. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi studied political science, and he's got a PhD in political science. So, in a literal sense, uh, of course, uh, on the colonial system, on the colonial education system, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is highly uh, what do we call, it's highly rated. He's a highly rated individual. If you've got PhD on the colonial system, you are highly valued according to the system. So according to the system, he's highly valued. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is a founding member of the EFF. He came to the EFF in 2013 when the party was starting. How did Mbuyiseni Ndlozi join the EFF? This is very important. I'm just giving a background to the issue so that uh, when I make my analysis at the end, you understand. Now I'm preparing to cook. You know, when you put salt, you put whatever you want to put in the stuff. You haven't cooked, but you want to cook. You are preparing to cook. So Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, how did he find himself in the EFF? Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was active in student politics at the university, at Wits University, where Floyd Shibambu was also involved in student politics. Floyd Shibambu, at the time when he was still in the Youth League, uh, he was active in politics, in student politics. Him and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi met at the University of Witwatersrand. And uh, Floyd Shibambu recruited Mbuyiseni Ndlozi into the EFF. When Floyd Shibambu was asked about his relationship with Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, he said, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is my brother. Me and him did not meet because of politics. We met on a personal level. So, uh, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is very close to the to Floyd Shibambu in reality than he is to the CIC. He's very, very close to Floyd Shibambu because they were friends. They are friends for more than 20 years now with Floyd Shibambu. Some referred to him, it was a little bit confusing because some were referring to him as the T-boy of the CIC, President Julius Malema, or the water boy with a PhD, the water boy with a PhD of President Julius Malema. While in actual fact, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was more closer, not to Julius Malema, was more closer to Floyd Shibambu. It is a matter of, it's a known fact that at the end of the day, Floyd Shibambu left the EFF and went to the MK party. It's a matter of fact that Julius Malema also spoke about the issue, uh, not talking directly about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, but as well directly talking about him, that he is quiet during the attack. When the EFF is under attack, he's quiet. He expected him to say something about to say something when Floyd Shibambu left the EFF. He expected him to say something, and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi did not say anything. So to add insult to the injury, his wife, Mbuyiseni's wife, uh, actually tweeted or retweeted uh, Floyd Shibambu's tweet when he was leaving the EFF. And then it made Julius Malema to comment about that tweet and taking side now, showing his side that is more to prefer that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi should be clear with him and leave the EFF. So, what is the danger or what is the issue that would actually make the CIC be skeptical about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi? First, the CIC asked Mbuyiseni Ndlozi about whether he knew about Floyd Shibambu leaving to the MK party. And then Mbuyiseni Ndlozi said yes, he knew about it. And when he was asked, why didn't you inform me about it? And he said, I just did not think it was necessary. But of course, I understand it's not his place to go and otherwise he's now a spy. He's working as a spy for the CIC or for Julius Malem. It was not his place to go and whisper unless if he's hired as an intelligence officer of the EFF. Then he can go and acquire intelligence information and have an obligation to disclose to the CIC. So this was a personal move of Floyd Shivambu. I don't think he was obligated to tell the CIC, but well, the CIC did not take it kindly that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi did not inform him in advance, while he actually knew 2 weeks earlier that Floyd Shivambu was going to leave the EFF. So now the elective conference of the EFF, which is coming in about, is it 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, or less, in about 2 weeks or less, the elective conference of the EFF is coming. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi has established himself, has established his life, the life of his own in the EFF, though he was recruited by Floyd Shivambu. In the EFF, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi became known as the People's Bay. People in the EFF loved Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, especially the student command, because I mean, if a young man born in 1985 and he's a doctor of politics, if he's a doctor of politics, then President Zuma should be a professor of politics, because you can't even compare these politicians if it was reality. So, in the literal sense, in the colonial uh, um, arrangement or in the colonial order, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is literally a doctor of politics in the EFF. The student love him for the fact that he is a doctor of politics. They want somebody that esteemed. Even the white people does have respect for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi because he's a doctor. He's highly qualified. He's actually exactly what they prescribed for a black man. While they themselves, the white people, are not educated, but they prescribe that the black person, for him to be acknowledged by the white system, he should be highly esteemed and highly educated, be formal. So Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was able to break all the red tapes. He became highly esteemed in the system. He's a doctor of law. Not a doctor of law, I mean a doctor of politics. He did political science. So the constituency inside the EFF, he's got a lot of people who really loves him and who wants him to be the deputy president of the EFF. That is the predicament. Can the CIC trust that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, who is related to Floyd Shivambu, whom, according to the CIC, Floyd Shivambu has stabbed him in the back, and his friend Mbuyiseni Ndlozi still remaining in the EFF? The CIC, who's got the best interest of his organization, he knows the direction that he wants to take the organization. But Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, now the CIC has got a reason to doubt him. Whether if he is elected, the deputy president of the EFF is going to take the EFF in the direction that the CIC wants, or he's going to try and take the EFF in the direction that the CIC is not looking for. What are the possibilities? The Mbuyiseni Ndlozi may be genuine in his, I'm just giving the possibilities. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi may be genuine in his stay in the EFF. He may be indeed believing that the EFF is still a vehicle to free black people from colonialism and apartheid. He may still be believing that. And the constituency of the EFF may still be right to vote for or to want him to become the deputy president of the EFF. The second possibility, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi may be hiding his intentions to destroy the EFF when he's elected the deputy president of the EFF. He may want to take over as the deputy president of the EFF and direct the EFF towards the MK party where Floyd Shivambu is. While the CIC does not really want to take that direction. What if it might have happened? It may happen that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is hiding in the EFF and an agent of any other organization other than the MK party. What if he's hiding to go to the ANC? But that one, I think the CIC does prefer to take the EFF back into the ANC, which he wants to lead like Mandela did. He wants the popularity that President Mandela had. uh, so he wants to lead the ANC, and he's declared that he's going to lead the ANC. So that is the direction that the CIC would not be worried. But the direction that he's worried about is the direction of merging the EFF into the MK party, of dissolving the EFF into the MK party. If you allow Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to be elected in the conference as the deputy president of the EFF, that is the predicament that the CIC is facing. If you allow Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to be elected as the deputy president of the EFF in the next election, can he be trusted that he is not an agent of other political parties inside the EFF? Is he not going to take a direction that the CIC does not want to take about the EFF? That is the predicament which the CIC is facing with relations to the nomination of Mbuyiseni Ndlozi into the position of deputy president of the EFF. The economic freedom fighters have been losing members. It has been losing very important and highly esteemed individual according to the colonial system. It has been losing members to the MK party. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is one member who is not trusted to actually, it's the same as uh, uh, Paul Mashatile of the ANC, the deputy president of the ANC, who is not trusted by the by President Ramaphosa to, or the GNU, to guard against merging the ANC back into the MK party. So the situation of Mbuyiseni Ndlozi in the EFF, where he's insisting that he wants to stand, not necessarily insisting because he's not even commenting about it. It's I mean, his constituency in the EFF is actually insisting that he should be elected as the deputy president of the EFF, uh, what will happen if he's elected the deputy president of the EFF? Will it be the end of the EFF? Is he gonna, uh, when he's elected, then break it apart? If he's not elected, is the EFF going to break apart again in the middle? Is the EFF going to lose more members? Obviously, more members. The EFF is going to lose more members. There's no organization left. I just wanted to basically talk about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. I have spoken about the demise of the EFF many times before. Before anything has been heard about the EFF, before the fights inside the EFF were revealed, uh, I spoke about the demise of the EFF, that the EFF was not going to get more than 9% of the vote in this 2024 election, and it happened like that. And I said from there, they will only decline. And I want to put my head on the block that in the municipal election, they will not be able to get more than 4% of the total vote, of the total share of vote in South Africa. Uh, Click the like button and subscribe if you are new. My name is Mngoni Mkonto, and you are on the Royal Opinion. Uh, if you've got views or opinions about the topic that we're talking about, or any other thing that you would like to advise us about, you can comment uh, on the comment section. If you would like to just uh, send a register that you are here, you can just send your register on the comment system that I on the comment what section, I mean, on the comment section that you are here, so that I can know that I'm talking to people. So the deputy president of the ANC, Paul Mashatile, also faced the same situation in the ANC, where the DA does not trust that the deputy president of the ANC, since the president of the ANC will not be re-elected into the presidential position, um, Paul Mashatile may take over as the president of the ANC. In actual fact, Paul Mashatile may take over as the president of the ANC at any given time, any given time, because the politics in South Africa are not that stable. Uh, the issue of Pala is back in Parliament. It might happen that the GNU fails to defend it, because the politics are very dynamic. Paul Mashatile, the DA, have got fears that Paul Mashatile may rise to the position of the president of the ANC. And they have a fear that Paul Mashatile may decide, because they don't trust him, may decide to go with the MK party instead of the DA alliance, which they call it a doomsday alliance. The reason they call it a doomsday alliance is because it's an alliance which will change the plight of black people and also the plight of white people in South Africa. If that alliance happen, it will change massively the way people are treated. It will change the way black people are treated in South Africa as slaves, and it will change the way white people are treated in South Africa as king, undeserving kings in South Africa, total undeserving uh, criminals who came with most of the people who came to South Africa in those years to come and capture South Africa. Most of them were criminals from their countries who were released from prisons to go and look for new lands on behalf of England. So some of the prisoners, even Jan van Riebeeck himself was a prisoner at the end of the day when he came to South Africa. So those are the criminals. So they call it the Doomsday Alliance because when it happens, it's going to change the life of black people in South Africa and also take from the economic power that the white people have over black people. That's what is going to happen if that alliance happens. So the GNU or Helen Zille is guarding against that. So they are throwing accusations against Paul Mashatile to put pressure on him for him to step out so that they can, I suspect that they want to merge the ANC and the EFF as soon as possible, because if they don't do that, the MK party is in a massive program, massive recruitment program, which will see them sweep the ground during the local government elections. They are going to sweep the ground. They are going to take every corner, even the smallest municipalities, even the smallest municipality in the remote villages. The MK party is going to sweep everything because the campaign, uh, MK party is the only party which is not in the media because they are not covered on SABC, so they don't have media shows. They have to be on the ground. They can't rely on SABC to talk to the people because the SABC is not available for them. The mainstream media is not available for them. So they are massively involved on the ground. The work of the MK party is terrifying to the enemies if they have to watch closer. They already have uh, for November and December, they've already have a full program of the MK party. And the coming year, they will be going to courts, there will be massive campaigns, running massive campaigns. So the MK party is going to take over the politics of South Africa. So Paul Mashatile is sympathetic to President Jacob Zuma. He is seen as sympathetic and is seen as a sleeper, somebody who is just sitting inside there, holding on for the opportunity, for him to get an opportunity and take the MK part and take the ANC and merge it with the MK party. Because politics, tactics in politics are very important. If you reveal yourself earlier, you will not reach your goal. They will remove you fast. So Paul Mashatile has at the moment to agree with the GNU and slip in. Do I agree with the strategy that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi has employed in the EFF? I certainly don't agree. If he's not honest, if he's not truly, because I strongly believe that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, in terms of political ideology, is more orientated to what Floyd Shivambu believes in than what the CIC believes in. So I think he's more orientated to the MK party. I don't agree with him if he's intending to destroy the EFF, and of which I don't know. If he's employing that strategy, I don't agree with him because uh, I really prefer people who are honest, who are open about things like what uh, Advocate Dalimpofu did. Uh, he was open that he's a member of the EFF or of the MK party from the start. Um, uh, Inside the EFF, so the CIC knew that um, Advocate Mpofu is the member of the MK party inside the EFF. I think that is fair, and that is dealing openly with other black people. But the stabbing and all of those things, and I don't really agree. Come up open, tell us that you are this. If you are MK, go to the MK party, establish yourself in the MK. If you are real in the EFF, yes, stay in the EFF and be real in the EFF if you really believe, but not the issue of like but well, it's a strategy that can work for black people. If we've got such strategies, um, I would agree with those strategies if they finally, at the end, work for black people. At the end, if they employ those um, I don't want to say corrupt strategies, but those underground hiding kind of strategies, manipulative kind of strategies in politics, because that is manipulative kind of strategy in the politics. So instead of being manipulative, be open about what you stand for and what you believe in. Floyd Chibambu decided, though he started the EFF, though he conceptualized uh, the policies of the EFF, conceptualized the pillars, 7 cardinal pillars of the EFF. He came out openly that he's now leaving the EFF and going to start another organization, which is the MK Party, where he decided to go and contribute. Now he's been elected as, not elected, appointed as the General Secretary, Secretary General of the commanders uh, of the MK party, Umkhonto Wesizwe party. So I think that one is eh, but the strategy of trying to hide from what you believe in and trying to maybe it works, but I would prefer that Paul Mashatile be doing it, not Mbuyiseni Ndlozi in the EFF. Paul Mashatile be doing it because he's doing it against the white people in the ANC. Because the ANC is it's going in the direction of becoming a white party. In the next election, the ANC will be thoroughly a white party. It would have been washed from its blackness to become a white organization. So I wanted to share my opinion about the predicament that the CIC find himself in, whether he should really allow Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to go and become the deputy president of the EFF in that conference, because we don't know if the constituency which will go to the conference is really going to avoid voting for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi into the position of the deputy president of the EFF. Uh, it's better if you work with the people that you can trust. Immediately you lose trust on people, whether it's on politics, whether it's at work, wherever you are, whether it's at home, whatever relationship that you are trying to manage. When you lose trust on the people that you are having the relationship with, then the relationship becomes unmanageable. So I think the relationship between the EFF, CIC, President Julius Malema, and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is at the current moment unmanageable because uh, the CIC does not trust Mbuyiseni Ndlozi anymore. So for the CIC and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to work together, a trust, the one that the CIC calls brotherhood, is needed in order for the two for the leaders to work together. But if you think that this one can stab me in the back at any given time, then the relationship is no more workable. I think the relationship between Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and the um, EFF leadership is no more workable because of the trust that has been broken between the two leaders. Uh, because of the movement of Floyd Shibambo from the EFF to the MK party, and because of the relationship of Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and Floyd Shibambo, who are very close together, who are very close friends, and are relating more in terms of politics uh, than Mbuyiseni Ndlozi relating to the CIC Julius Malema's politics. The CIC's politics is moving towards the Democratic Alliance and the ANC, because the ANC and the Democratic Alliance is now one thing. So the CIC politics as well is moving towards the ANC and the Democratic Alliance. But the Mbuyiseni Ndlozi politics is moving towards the MK party and President Zuma. So I think the CIC is right, or may would be right if he somehow try to stop Mbuyiseni Ndlozi from campaigning, though it might be a mistake because you don't know whether it's true that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is genuine or is lying. But according to the evidence that currently is available, the CIC has got a reason to doubt his commitment to the EFF and the loyalty to the EFF. Though the membership of the EFF wants Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi to stay in the EFF, but it would be a challenging kind of relationship with the CIC if Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is the deputy president of the EFF, because they will have to talk every day and they have lost trust on each other. So, what do I suggest, or what is my opinion about what Mbuyiseni Ndlozi can do? My opinion is Mbuyiseni Ndlozi should just go and join the MK party and establish himself in the MK party, uh, or contribute for the freedom of black people in the MK party. Push the unity of black people. When Mbuyiseni Ndlozi moves from the EFF to the MK party, one other thing that people don't take for granted, People only are looking for movements of the leaders from one party to another. But the more important movement is the movement of the people on the ground, because it's only one person who is moving at the top. But on the ground, it's massive unknown numbers of people who are changing their opinion about the EFF, going to the MK party. So the movement of people, the biggest impact is not actually the movement of the leader, is the movement of the ground to the MK party, the movement of the people on the ground to the MK party. That's the massive impact. That's where the MK party is more powerful than the movement of the leaders, though they are very good at recruiting the leaders. So when the Mbuyiseni Ndlozi moves to the MK party, uh, I think as well more people from the EFF will move on the ground to the MK party. There are some people who are just voting for the EFF. They are not even active members whom the EFF is losing. So for CIC ke kgomo ya moshate, wa e gapa o molato, wa e tlogela o molato. Ke kgomo ya moshate. For the CIC, it's going to be difficult. So I suggest Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, if he gets this video, I suggest that move to the save Julius Malema the hassle of trying to stop trying to, because that will only taint the conference of the EFF, and it will only taint the image of the CIC uh, in the public, trying to uh, discredit Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, because that's what he has to do. He will try and discredit Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, and he may look awkward to some members. So save the CIC the trouble. Go to the MK party, even if maybe you had good intentions in the EFF, but if you realize the situation that the CIC or the working environment, because also the freedom of black people will be achieved by people who will be united uh, in a real sense of the story, who will be trusting each other in a real sense of the happening. Than so you cannot liberate, you cannot form a force that would liberate black people with people that you can't trust. You need people that you trust. So I don't think the CIC uh, has got any reason to continue to trust Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. He's got more reasons to doubt him than to trust him. So he's going to try and stop him from becoming. And when he tries to do that, the EFF will get more divided. Some members will side with Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, and some members will now side with the CIC. And at the end of the day, it may become a total different kind of politics of the EFF. We may see the demise of the EFF quicker than what we are imagining. We may see a big split inside the EFF, which would not be ignored uh, very soon. Uh, One other issue that I actually want to highlight, or I want to talk about, or I would like to talk about maybe in the next video, the issue of the Spaza shop regulations, which most South Africans are celebrating. Most South Africans does not know that there's a plan by big retailer, the ShopRite and the Pick and Pay retails shops to get into the rural and the village economy. Uh, so because of that, they want to remove the foreigners who are controlling this economy, uh, because they know black people uh, have already been removed from the business. So when they remove the foreigners, the white shops will be able to get in and take over that economy. I think their system, the killing of children, the killing of black children, does not come from the owners of the spaza shops. It comes from the white system, which wants to sabotage the spaza shops to go in order for them to come into the township economy, to take over the township economy. The regulations that are going to be put in place, or that are being put in place at the moment, for instance, the spaza shop have been told that they must get registered within 21 days. It's not only the foreign spaza shop that has to be registered within 21 days. It's actually even local spaza shops. Is there any capacity to register all the spaza shops within 21 days in the government system? It does not exist. The documents that are required for somebody to own a spaza shop, uh, it actually takes black people out of the system. Black people will be arrested in villages and in township for owning spaza shops. The foreigners, we may celebrate that the foreigners have been taken out of the system, but it's not only foreigners who are being taken out of the system. The black people also are taken out of the system, of the economic system of the rural area. The poisoning of these black children, those people would not just wake up in the morning and decide to kill their customers. I don't want to believe such a lie. The the Pakistanis or the Indians or the Ethiopians, I don't believe they have any intention to kill black people in South Africa. They have been selling things, we've been buying from them. There were no problem. These issues have started recently and became national. And the reason for that, I argue that it's only because the big shops wants to take over the township economy, excluding the foreigners and excluding the local people. The requirements that are required for black people to own a spaza shop in South Africa is impossible for them. First, they want what we call authorized, what we call business plans, and of which you get the business plan. I mean, not business plan, not business. I mean, building plans. They want a business plan which has been approved by the municipality. There's no house I know in any village which has been approved. Its building plans have been approved by a municipality. Like there's no house in villages which have been, its building plans have been approved by municipalities, except those which are owned by white people. Eh, they first convert they first convert the permission to occupy into what do they call it? Title deed. They convert it into a title deed, and they can submit the title deeds and get the building approvals in the municipality. So that's one thing that would take uh, majority of black people out of the system. Black people may be celebrating that the foreigners are going, but black women are going to get arrested because black women are the ones who are running the spaza shops in rural areas and in township areas. Black women are going to be arrested for non-compliance with the spaza shop regulations. Black women are going to go hungry while the richer get richer, the shop right and the pick and pay get richer. That's what is going to happen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the live stream. Uh, as I've said, my name is Mungonum Konto, and you are in the Royal Opinion. Click the like button and subscribe. Um, I haven't seen any comment. Anyone who wants to comment can put up their comment, their opinion in the comment section. Um, Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining and being part of this live stream. I highly appreciate. This is where we're going to end our live stream. We're going to talk. I think I'll come up with. I was just introducing the issue of the spaza shop regulations. I think I'll go and get all of the regulations that are required for the black people to own spaza shop in South Africa, to show that these regulations will actually be beyond reach for an ordinary South African who is currently owning a spaza shop. Is they will also have to shut down, because this does not only talk to foreigners, it talks to even locals. The laws which are being put in place, whether they are getting implemented immediately or not, the important thing is the white people knows they've put the law in place to any time they can implement the law whenever they want, whenever the political environment is suitable for them to attack. They will be able to attack black people in that moment. So, what is important is for them to put the laws in place, in structure, so that they can use it for persecution at the time when they have to use it. So at the moment, they are putting up the laws and they will put it into persecution. I think it's one important subject that I'm going to talk about, and also the subject about the illegal miners or the zamazamas. I'll also include that one in the in I think in one of the videos, or in the video that I'll be talking about those issues. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining.